Welcome back to the show. I'm rebuilding the 130 for various reasons, but in order to do that, I need rolling chassis stands. Because as you can see, the shop is quite big, but it's not quite big enough to have this thing sitting here with a new chassis right behind it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put both the Defender and the new chassis on rolling chassis stands, and then hopefully I can move them around quite easily when we start. So let's see. So for reasons that are probably obvious to some of you, but not to me, they don't make rolling chassis stands. So what I've done is I've bought auto movers. These normally go under the tires, and then you can move your car that way. And 3-ton chassis stands. There's two problems with them. The first is these are not very stable. So if I just sit them on here, they can slide around and probably tip over, which is not great. In order to make it somewhat safe, what I'm going to do is I'm going to weld up a square frame using quite thin steel, 20 by 20 by 1.5, to make sure that all the jack stands are like interconnected so they can't move relative to each other. Oh yeah, so this goes without saying, your safety is your responsibility. I am not a trained professional. This is not how you're supposed to use jack stands. So think before you do something like this. Alright, let's get to cutting. So that's pretty close to square now. So the first challenge that I have is that obviously you want the jack stands to be right in the middle of the chassis rails, right? You don't want them a centimeter or two over on one side, which is quite difficult if you want to weld up a square frame and get it exactly right. So I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is I've got these two tubes, and then you've got a smaller tube inside. Just stick 2 bolts to them on each side, and that will lock it in place. And then we have some wiggle room to connect everything together. So let's get started on that. Test piece to see if my settings are good, but they are. So, and then when everything is assembled together, it all bolts up something like this. So you can see they can move somewhat relative to each other. It's not entirely square, not entirely level, but that's fine. I think once you put some weight on this, it will be fine. I put the 130 on the normal auto movers, and I noticed they don't like moving all that much. So I think it's going to be less mobile than I hoped, but that's fine. We'll see, we'll make it work. Yeah, and then obviously these bolt up to the normal mounting holes. So I can take this all apart, cut the jack stands off, and then use the jack stands as normal jack stands and the auto movers as normal auto movers. So yeah, that's it. Let's go pick up the chassis. Yeah, she's definitely cold, but running. Woo! What a beauty, eh? What a beauty! But yeah, let her warm up a little bit, choke us out, and then we can get going. So to nobody's surprise, 130-inch chassis for the Defender does not fit on the back of a 110-inch forward control. So I asked my parents to help me out. They've got a 90, so we can just load it up on the trailer and get going. But yeah, the powder coater is a great guy, really knows his stuff. So the chassis obviously was galvanized when I bought it, then got epoxy primed and then powder coated in the color that I want. So the entire car is going to be this color, but yeah, really high quality powder coating job. So it should be great. Let's get going.
Hi, Blay.
I am happy, very happy, yes, yes. everything. Speed bumps are a pain. Oh.
Ja, zal ik hem maar even...
Wil je hem draaien? The new chassis is in from Mar, and we've also loaded up the DDS Metals bulkhead to go off and get painted. So a few more jobs to do for the old forward control today, but yeah, looking good. The chassis, it's dusty grey, and I love this color. It's absolutely fantastic. So, woo! So delivery completed, bulkhead is getting painted. It's gonna be the dusty grey, so the same as the chassis, matte as well, so should be looking good.